I'm Chosen Architect, and this is my modded adventure. Now, last episode, we ended up taking on the Warden and opening up a portal to, well, the deeper dark, and I wasn't ready for it. I mean, I was ready enough to be able to take on one Warden, but the second one was definitely a bit more troublesome. Don't worry, I'll take the L for that one. Now, today, I want to try something a bit different with the bosses, and more than just the Warden, even though the Warden is one of them. I want to try and capture them inside a jar. Yeah, how about we try to capture the Ender Dragon in a jar, the Wither in a jar, and we can also capture a Warden in a jar. I think this is going to be a fun experiment. Now, I think the Warden is going to be one of the easiest ones to sort of yoink, as we just need to go back to the city where all the chaos has happened, and all we have to do is maybe pick it up inside of a mob yoinker. I think this could be doable. Let's head down here and try to get one of these horrible guys to spawn and try to yoink them. That could potentially work. Where do we find one? There should be the ability, yeah, right here. This should easily get one to spawn. Okay, we just got to figure out where it's spawning and not let it overtake us. This will be kind of interesting because we could just go yoink and pick the thing up. That honestly seems kind of broken, but also fun at the same time. And that's what this pack's all about. Oh, I think that's it. Okay. So you need, okay. Whoa. I need XP to yoink it? I need XP to yoink? Right? Is that what that said? Oh, we need XP to yoink. Okay. I don't have the XP for that. Okay. So it takes a lot of XP to yoink a mob. It's just not free. Oh, wow. Maybe I could use another method of picking the mob up. Or we could just do it right here and perform the ritual. I would prefer to do it back at the house, though. All of these seem like really good options. You know what? I bet even Industrial Foregoing doesn't allow you to pick up the Warden because it probably considers it's a boss, much like the Wither. So we're probably going to have to do this on site. So let's try this again. Except this time, I think I'm going to be more prepared. Oh, we definitely need to eat our food or I'm going to get wrecked because he's right there. He followed me. Okay, he's going to do the laser thing. Let's place the jar and then we'll place this. And then I need a source jar. Ouch. Okay, this is not working so good. Okay, source jar. And then I need this. And then we need to activate it. And that should put him in the jar. Oh, too much just happened right there. I'm grabbing and going. Let's get out of here as soon as I can. We've got to go because I'm pretty sure we just spawned another one. Oh, I can't believe that just worked. Now, next on the list is going to be the Wither. But I do want to make sure that I have some upgrades here. Let's make sure we have this just in case it spawns so we know that it is going to get wrecked. And then break in. Okay. Let me break a little bit lower here. What I want is, I just don't know if it's going to reach. That's the thing. I will put the jar here, but I'm going to need the ritual brazier here. And then we're going to need our source jar nearby. And then I can go ahead and activate this. And I think that will work. And then we need to spawn the Wither. Let's see. Get it right here in the middle. Oh boy. A lot of things could go wrong. Like everything that could go wrong probably will. Let's go ahead and disable that. So it's not actively running. Oh, it automatically just put it in there. That happened so fast. Oh, the heads are totally messed up. Does this work though? Because this is like mid like phase, or would we have to activate it after it had spawned? Oh, I have no idea. We're going to find that out though. We'll just do a test. Okay. And now the only other thing left to do, right, is a dragon. That was a little bit harder. Now for this, we're going to need to respawn the Ender Dragon. And this can be kind of sketchy. So I don't know if we should just go ahead and have the thing activated. I think that might work. But if it breaks, we're going to have to get out of here, get out of the end, because the dragon's just going to continue doing its rampage. And this dragon is going to be a bit tougher than the prior dragon we fought. So I think it might be best if we just go ahead and set this up right here, for example, and hopefully this doesn't break anything, and go ahead and get our jar. We'll place the jar last minute because I don't want the jar to pick up an Enderman, and or try to put a crystal in there, because it might also try to think these are like some sort of entity and try to do that as well. But this will respawn the dragon. Oh boy. And as soon as we get one that spawns, I should be able to place this down and hopefully that will work. Because the dragon is very fond of blocks that aren't end blocks, and it likes to break them. So this could be definitely an experience. This could be the hardest one by far. Okay, the dragon should spawn. And there it went. Okay, those blocks were protected somehow. Okay, I was wondering if this is end again. Because yes, we're fighting this dragon again. This time I don't have ender pearls. And I'm wondering... I don't know if the dragon ever lands. Like before all of these are broken. I don't think it does. Always worth a shot. Are you gonna try to come down here and grab these blocks? Don't know. Oh! We got an Ender Dragon Mite. Oh, oh! It's near. I just don't think it's close enough. I don't think it's close enough. This might take a moment. This... Oh, man. If I had it up there, then it would definitely grab it. Oh, there's a shulker. Well, that dragon is very low. Oh, 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 that might be close enough. Oh, it was. It was totally close enough. And we nabbed it. Oh, that was perfect. Now, this is the weird thing that happens with this. Once you've captured it, where'd the dragon go, right? A new dragon will respawn. It's a very weird mechanic, but a new dragon will show back up. Eventually. Eventually. It just takes a moment. And I think I can go ahead and leave, though. Even though the Ender Dragon is technically now inside of a jar. I should be able to leave. So I hope. Maybe we've forever broken the end. But you know what? I'm okay with that. Oh, nope. I think we're good. I think we're good. I was just about to leave, and look who spawned. The dragon. Yes. But I do want to go ahead and head home. So I'm going to open my portal. Hopefully the dragon doesn't fly through this thing. That would be kind of scary. It would just end up here. I should have thought about that. But now that we have all three of these things, we have the trinity of mob bosses. We should see if our Drigme can farm them. Now, in most cases, I would say no. The dragon in a jar has a special ability where you can use bottles to, you can right-click bottles on it and it turns it into dragon's breath. And the wither usually just sort of this decorative thing, and same with the warden. But it's not exactly that way in my pack, because there's a few things that kind of contribute to them having some kind of functionality. Now, I don't know exactly how I want to place these in. I don't know what the range is on these guys. That's kind of a problem, figuring out the exact range. So, for example, we definitely want the wither to be farmed. Believe it or not, this is going to farm up some minor wither drops, and those wither drops can then be farmed later on. And then we'll place the dragon up here, and I definitely want to place this up here just to see if the Drigme can indeed reach this high up. So we should be able to see them pulling stuff in from this if we watch close enough. Look at that warden in there. I have no idea if these guys can reach up that far. You know, just to be sure, I'm going to grab these. Also, be careful and don't dispel these guys because it will dispel them. I'm going to place them down here, right beside them. And I wonder if that will force them to pull from them first. And so we're just surrounding them with all of the different mob types. But we'll see over time. I'll give it a little bit of time and we'll see what all these things farm. I'm pretty curious to see. Oh my goodness, yes. Already we can see that this is farming the Warden. It is farming it for its drops and the apotheosis drops, which is fantastic. And also enchanted golden apples are definitely coming from the Warden as well. And we're also getting these nether star shards. And these combined together equal a nether star overall. We're also getting ancient debris, I'm pretty sure, from the Warden as well. And I think the dragon has a chance of dropping dragon scales from the ARS mod. So let's see, not ARS mod, the dragon scales from Forbidden and Arcanus. Yes, this is a thing. So yeah, it is pretty powerful, but ARS Duvo is very powerful. That's sort of an understanding. Now, this is a great way to farm up ancient debris. That's perfect. In all of its uses, anything you want to use it for. And the nether star ability. It's a great, simple nether star farm. The only drawback with, I think, Drigmes is experience. You don't get a whole bunch of experience, and experience is super useful for things like apotheosis. So even though we have this farm running, we are still going to need a different kind of farm, a normal mob farm. Technically, we're going to need 2 mob farms, one for industrial foregoing, so that way you can get essence, and one for actual XP. And I think the best way to do that is to convert the thing you have behind me into a mob farm using one of my favorite mods, Mob Grinding Utils. The even thing about getting started with this, we are going to need an XP drain singularity tank. And it is going to require this tank singularity, which these tanks are great. And then we're going to need to craft everything together with some Eyes of Ender, which is probably the thing that makes it the most expensive, because you will have to have gone to the nether. And with that, we have ourselves a singularity drain. And we can stand on that. And this is how we're going to get our first bit of experience. Already, we have a full bucket worth, but we're going to need 4 buckets to actually make cursed dirt or earth. And in our quests, it talks a little bit more about this under the quality of life. The ease of mob farms. No longer do we need like this giant tower to farm these mobs. No, they will spawn on this cursed feed or this cursed earth that it'll create. And then you can also use the other type of chicken feed. There is a GM chicken feed, which will make an egg. And then there is also a nutrient feed, I believe, that will make, nutritious chicken feed, which will make a passive mob farm. So a lot of cool things will spawn on those. But yeah, there's a little bit of maintenance involved with the passive version. So let's get this mob farm up and running. And this will be a way to generate both essence, or at least we should be able to farm both essence, and we should also be able to farm regular experience as well. So let's first grab our buckets of experience. This is what we're going to need in order to craft that feed. And I'm going to be going for the cursed chicken feed. And this is very cursed because we need to now find a chicken to sacrifice. I mean feed, not sacrifice. Yeah, no chickens will ever be harmed in the making of my episodes. Here, little chicken. All you need to do is just try a little bit of this. All right, just give it a try. Yeah, enjoy this. Let's not talk about that. You know, if we think about it just exploding in joy, we can live and sleep much easier at night. Now, when building this farm, we are going to be building a hostile mob farm. And there's some things to keep in mind when using this cursed earth. Now, it says it creates a 5x5 area of dreadful dirt, but you don't need to make it 5x5 if you don't want to. And I'll explain maybe some reasons why you don't want to do that. So inside of our farm here, inside this little slot, we do have a 5x5 worth. But here's the problem. Mobs can spawn up on the edge of these blocks. So if you have earth here, a mob can spawn pretty much in between this glass and here. And that can cause some problems with this glass, and mobs can teleport basically through the glass. They'll kind of get pushed through, and we don't want that. I kind of want to avoid that if at all possible. So I'm going to leave a border, and I'm only going to set up a 3x3 here in the middle. The spawn rates are going to be affected by that, because the more dirt you have, the more chance mobs can spawn, but I don't really need a mob farm that's running incredibly fast. We just want to generate enough XP to kind of carry us as we go. Now, one awesome thing that we should be able to do is keep this torch on here. So if I activate this, mobs should not spawn. So I hope. But notice it did turn into dreadful dirt. The light here should be a high enough value to keep the mobs from spawning. And this tinted glass, when there's no torch, will make it incredibly dark, and we should be able to see sort of through. Now, I do want to push these mobs over into either a corner or into a centralized location. And this is where mob grinding utils is really nice, because it gives us a lot of other options aside from just a simple mob crusher, which on its own is going to do a very good job. Now, I'm hoping this works really well. I hope later on we can expand and maybe add some mob spawners in here to make this faster or make it a little bit larger. But for getting started, this should be more than enough. Now, there's a lot of tools given to us from mob grinding utils, and the mob masher is king right here. With all of the upgrades available, it can pretty much one-shot most mobs if fully upgraded. It does cost a lot of iron, though. A lot of swords are going to be used for this, and it's also going to take a bit of diamond as well. So with this bad boy made, we need ways of getting the mobs to the masher, because they're not going to just walk into it. I mean, maybe some of them will, but we do need some fans, and fans are incredibly powerful at pushing mobs to where you want them to go. Now, this should just about get everything going, so we need a little bit of redstone. I'll use a redstone block here. And the redstone block will be how I power the thing that's going to eventually kill the mobs. So this thing right here, let's not place this in just yet. Let's wait a moment, because I don't want to accidentally off myself. So let's grab these, and then I'm going to place a fan here, here, and here. Now, right now, this should get in the way technically, and I don't know. Yeah, can we send a signal? We can. Okay, so the torch is not blocking this. And this is a problem that I kind of have to figure out. Is this going to cancel this fan? Okay, so as of right now, it doesn't seem like it's canceling or anything. Okay, so we're looking good. We're looking good. Now, what we want to do, though, is we want to expand this, because right now this is only sending in this area. So if we put an expansion in here, notice it's going to widen up a little bit. But I also want to expand it one more. So I am going to make an expansion card that's a little bit bigger. So that's going to be the width card. And that should be wide enough to handle everything. Let's also test this again. So that's wide. Does this cancel? Okay, so no. So that does work. Perfect. And I can go ahead and stop showing the area. So once we have this in and we've turned everything on, this should send all these mobs in here to be killed. Now, I need to figure out how I'm going to collect the items. So some of the mobs are going to be killed here and the items are going to go into this. But we also want to be able to pick up the items elsewhere. And we also want to store our experience in some sort of tank. And mob grinding utils is just the thing. An absorption hopper is exactly what I'm looking for here. We just need a couple of chests. And we should be up and ready to go. Perfect. So an absorption hopper can pick up experience that is generated. And we can go ahead and use, I don't know, let's make 4 of these tanks. and make a jumbo tank. That can store experience. And then the XP tap. This will be how we can drain the experience out from this tank, and we can gather that experience. We're just about ready to go, ready to launch this. I went ahead and made a spruce barrel. I think that'll look kind of nice having a barrel right here. And then we can have the tank right here. Now I need to specify what side is what. So east is going to go into this barrel, which means west is going to be fluids that we need to send over here. And this crusher, we're going to have to filter this out a little bit different. We'll probably put a tank down here as well. And then this is going to need basically to send the items from here into this, in which we have many options, such as laser IO for that. But outside of that, we're almost done. We need to tell this where to go. So right now you can see the bounding box for where this is searching for items. And so we're gonna have to play around with this a little bit until we figure out exactly where this is going to go. And I think that fits perfectly right there. That is exactly where we want this to collect the items. So we can then hide the area again, and we're almost ready to turn this on. So now I should be able to place the laser IO node. And then over here, we want an item card that is set to extract. That should be more than enough, but let's go ahead and up the transfer amount to as high as it can go without any upgrades. And then over here, we want on the up, we'll go ahead and put the insert card. And that should pull the items out and put it into this barrel. So everything's ultimately going into the barrel. And then this is going to be a separate fluid. And we will say the essence needs to output over here. So this essence is going to have a lot of use, and we can utilize that essence later on down the road. And then we'll have regular experience right here, in which we can get out of it with the experience tap. I think we're ready to go. I think all we need to do now is simply toggle that on, toggle a couple of these on real quick, and make sure that we are under the right thing, under break. Make sure we got everything ready. Let's toggle this off for now. I want to be able to reach this, break that, toggle that on. Nice. This is on, and that's on. And once we make it completely dark in here, hopefully we'll get some mobs spawning. It's not a huge platform for the mobs to spawn in, but they should spawn, and there we go. Okay, so it does seem like they are getting pushed. Ooh, that's another thing I got to keep in mind. Mobs can teleport that are like Endermen. We don't want Endermen to teleport, so this is where another thing is going to come into play. So back with mob grinding utils, there's this thing called an Ender inhibitor, and that is going to prevent the mobs from teleporting. Yes, we need that. We don't want them to teleport around. And it does seem like this is pushing, but it also seems like these fans are fighting with each other, which was a problem that I thought I was going to end up having. But in all honesty, those mobs that are stuck there are actually kind of useful, because it allows our mob crusher to also work and generate some essence based on these mobs that are sort of stuck here. Oh, and it looks like a mob that shouldn't be spawning here. I've got to fix that in the scripts. Gotta love pack dev stuff. You know what? I think I have a solution to the mobs sort of getting stuck, which is, yeah, not a great thing that it's happening, but it definitely needs to be fixed. So let's go ahead and break this. Now, I think what I need to do is just push the mob fan back a little bit, because what's happening is this extends all the way over there, and I think that it's sort of canceling each other out. It didn't seem like it when I initially tested, but it is doing that. So if I turn this off and turn this on, notice one pushes one over the other, right? Or no, when they're both activated, yeah, this is definitely a bug, but when they're both activated, I can move freely, as if they're canceling each other out completely. So ideally, I think the only way to fix this is by just pushing this out a bit further. Nothing's going to be able to get in the way of this, so just having them pushed out at least 3 blocks is going to be the way to solve this problem. And maybe on the outside, I think right here is this block. I can go ahead and put the lever on there, and that should definitely allow me to control both of these from the outside, and this should now function a bit better. Yeah, honestly, it seems to be working just like it's supposed to. The good part about this farm is while I'm working on other things, this can be up and running, generating experience And when we need it most, we can then pull out the experience from the tank. Oh, this is going to be perfect. It's going to be necessary as well because Apotheosis is so XP hungry. And we've barely even dived into Apotheosis. So since that has all been running, let's see what we've produced from our Drigme farm. Dragon scales, look at that, and enchanted golden apples. And we are also gathering ancient debris. This is great. Some may think overpowered, but I think what's the fun in it not being powerful? All in all, I think I'm going to call today a success. We ended up getting all of these things farmed up in the Drigmes, and I've seen in the comments you guys have asked over and over again, Chosen, can you farm these things inside of the Drigme farm? And turns out, yeah, you actually can. At least in my pack you can. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a huge thumbs up. Guys, I thank you so very much for watching, and it's now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to Toxic over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member and supporting in one of the best ways possible, going above and beyond supporting me, and I thank you so very much for doing so. Guys, it's been a blast, and you know what I always say. I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and as always, thanks for watching. Bye guys.